Hello, today I'm going to be building the flooring for a aero metal shed, just like the one I built for my daughter with the help of my daughter and my grandkids, so stay tuned. Hello folks, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host Jerry Hansen today. On this nice autumn day, it's early fall, and we're going to be assembling the flooring for an aero metal shed we purchased through Sears for, well, my mother-in-law purchased it for $345, and I went down and purchased all the material for the flooring, and this cost approximately $146 for all the material. The reason why I've thought that it would be a better deal for Mom to have a storage shed here where she lives is she's paying approximately, I believe it's $88 a month. I could be wrong. It's above 80 at a local storage shed downtown, and I figured that as long as she's going to be here, there's no point in her paying that money out, and we could save her a lot of money in the long run, and it gives her that extra money on her account to be able to go buy the other needful things that she needs for just the cost of living expenses. So I went down and purchased this material for the flooring. I'm going to go ahead and put the flooring together and get her storage shed built. The shed is due to arrive the 27th at Sears, and I'm going to go down and pick that up. The materials for this project are 3 10-foot long 4x4 posts. These will be the supporting structures on which the floor sits. The floor joists consist of 11 10-foot 2x4s is what I'm constructing this out of. And I also bought an additional 5/8 inch 4-foot by 8-foot sized plywood for the surface. I also resourced these footing blocks on which those boards will rest from estate cleanups and elsewhere. So this was free material, but you might have to add those to your list for those of you who are going to be using this video as a guide for assembling your own aero metal shed. This is the first block. I want to make sure it's level. And how about that? That is perfectly level. I just need to put some more dirt under there to make the block level. I'm going to square it 166 inches that way. $166 inches that way. These beams are spaced exactly 113.5 inches from outside edge to outside edge, with the center beam centered on 56.5 inches. I cut 11 of these 10-foot 2x4s to be 110 1/4 inches long, so they'll make up the dimensions exactly for the footing of the shed. So let's go ahead and get these in place. Now I cut 2 of these 10-foot end caps 120 inches each, and these are not supporting beams, they're just beams for fastening the studs to, the actual joist to. To fasten these, I picked up a bag of screws from my hardware store. These are the screws, and they're 3-inch screws. So we're going to go ahead and attach those. To fasten these, I picked up a bag of screws from my hardware store. These are the screws, and they're 3-inch screws. So we're going to go ahead and attach those. And right now I'm only attaching the corners, the outside corners. I now have to evenly space all these joists to accommodate a sheet of plywood, so I'm going to start 4 feet out and put the center of the piece of wood right there. Now it's time to put the plywood sheeting on place of the floor. And if the framing is absolutely square, the plywood shouldn't have any problem screwing down. I'm going to go ahead and place screws every 16 inches on center and use my tape measure to find the center points to be able to connect the plywood. Once the plywood's connected, my last sheet is a total of 3 sheets. I'm going to go ahead and attach it to the flooring, and then I'm going to draw my cut line, and I'm going to take my hand saw or my skill saw, and we're going to go ahead and cut it. It's actually ripping the board. Once we get that ripped off, then we're going to take the leftover piece and put it on the end to cover this space. And once we have that all screwed in, we're going to go ahead and draw another line and trim that off. Now the leftover material, I'm going to go ahead and cut down and fill in this last little square spot right here. And we'll go ahead and screw that in place. It shouldn't be any problem because there's just going to be shelving and boxes stacked in here. So it just gets the space off the ground and out of the weather and off of the moisture. Well, the flooring and framing are done for this project. Stay tuned for episode 2 when we assemble the shed on top of this deck. I remember always measure twice, cut once. I ran over to the other shed and measured multiple times to make sure I was getting the base correct size, so the shed should fit perfectly right on top of this structure. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen, here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I want to thank you for joining me on this Homestead Building Project series on building the flooring for an aero metal shed that we purchased online through Sears. Please stay tuned for that video. You can follow me on social media, on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, Google+, and Blogger. And also be sure to subscribe, give me a comment. I like reading your guys' comments, and I try to keep up with all those comments in real time. And also, please share the videos. They help out the channel greatly. We'll see you guys again in more videos. Bye-bye.